Good evening, everybody. It is just gone 8 o'clock. It is Monday. It is time for the Total Evercade podcast. Derek, unfortunately, can't be with us this evening. I think this could be Derek's first trouser accident. As is always the way. If you're not here, you've had a trouser accident. So hopefully, we can get some spare trousers to Derek ASAP. But we have got a star-studded cast with us this evening. So before we get to who is in the chat, let's get round the panel. We have got Triangle Face Tim.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. We have got Blunwars.
Hello, done my usual. Chris H, you have leveled up.
Kaboom!
Membership on moi.
And our two guests of honor this evening, we have got Gene Joke.
Hello.
Good evening. And we have got Matt Upton.
Evening all.
Good evening.
Branded up.
Look at that, the branded t-shirt.
Tim.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got a TVG one. Or mirrored, so it looks like it says "gived."
It
It's
looks
okay
like
to
TVG from us, so you're all
Oh,
good.
does it? So it only looks
Yeah,
like
looks right
me.
for us.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
looks all right for us.
Excellent. Let's quickly run through the chat. We have got Nick C in the house. We've got, oh, sorry, Blanners, I'll let you take the wheels.
Yeah,
You do the driving. We've got Rob Taylor. Good evening, Rob Taylor. I hope you're good. Chris Dunham. Good evening, Chris. Skippins. Good evening, Nick Skippins. Timothy Earnshaw. Vernon Couchman. You have indeed remembered. MI Tech. Dave Newland. Good evening. Matthew Madsen. Jambon. Good evening, Jambon. Shems. Good evening, Shems. I hope you're good.
Yeah,
Ultimate
Chesh.
Jester. Colmney, good evening, Colm. I hope you're keeping well. We've got a packed chat and we have got lots of fun things to be talking about this evening. So you are all very, very welcome. So let's dive into the first topic, which of course is what are you playing? So Tim, what have you been playing?
Well, I have been playing a little bit of Donut Dodo because we had
That you
our
have.
Donut Dodo competition at the Nottingham Video Games Expo, which we witnessed. What I have to say is probably the best run on Donut Dodo I've ever seen. From
I would agree.
Aaron, I want to say Aaron. Gentleman called Aaron. He was in the audience who came up, and he was the first to go, and he just kept on going, and he got higher and higher scores. So got bonus lives. And I was like, wow, no one is beating this guy.
Yeah, so he smashed it, didn't he? First straight away,
Yeah,
like ruined
absolutely.
it. No one could get near him.
I think he got further than I've ever seen anyone get. And I was like, well, who wants to try and beat that score? Who wants to get a second place? So it's like, yeah, come up and have some fun. But we all had a go as well. I think I got the lowest score of the three of us, though.
You did. No bragging rights for you.
So no bragging rights for me. I think Estella did an all right run, but
You did.
yes, I was trying to plug the go for the glowing donuts only strategy because it's like it's a high school challenge. Just go for the flashing donuts, ignore everything else. And I think, yeah, do you know what? Even Aaron's run aside, which was excellent, I think everyone who took part also had a very good run that day. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get my best score, but it was all right. I think it's a respectable score nonetheless.
Excellent. Good stuff. And Mr. Blunwires, what have you been playing?
Yeah, so we've been playing a bit of the Alpha, but we'll speak about that later. Because obviously we went away this weekend, us three. We did a bit of hosting. And we interviewed some people. We interviewed Stu Cambridge from Sensible Software as well. And yeah, so we go Donut Dodo. So after this guy came on, got like 70-something thousand, didn't he? Went through
Yeah.
And we all had a go. I think Tim got like 20.
Around 20. I think it might have been
20.
19 something.
Yeah,
Round
and
Ollie got 20.
Ollie got like 30.
No, I think I got like just over 20. I think he got 21, 22. Didn't he?
So yeah,
only just
65. Well, I was closest to catching.
Yes,
him.
yeah, you did. You were doing well.
And I nearly caught the guy who ended up winning it, but he came up to me and said, "I've learned a lot just by watching you play." I said to him, what? So I was like, well, it's kind of hard when only you guys told me about the flashing donuts when we got on there. I've always just gone mad and gone for whatever.
That's
But,
things because
yeah,
the score of the
they
flashing
start multiplying
stacks,
really
doesn't it?
high.
Yeah. And I think at one point I got a donut and it gave me like 925 points. And if you
Yeah.
just get a fresh one, that's just 25 points. So
I
if you
was
think
getting
about how big that,
1,200.
yeah,
I was
how
getting
big that multiplier
1,200
gets
a
is,
donut.
yeah,
So yeah,
it's
and then
not
every
worth it.
15,000 you get a life.
Yeah.
This was other stuff that I found out new on the
Yeah.
day. So yeah, I was just casually taking my time, forgetting that I've got like an audience behind me. Like I just carry on playing, thinking, oh shit, we're running out. I'm nearly going over time here. So yeah, we'll play Donut Dodo, which you do forget how good that game is, and when you're score hunting, it makes it a little bit better as well. But everyone was just like, gotta beat Tim, gotta beat Tim.
It's funny
was
with those sorts of games, although they're like single player games, they are still more fun with a few mates because then you're
Yeah.
actually doing like a score challenge and taking it in turn. So it is a single player game, but it's more fun with more people.
Agreed.
So yeah, that was us this weekend.
And G Joe, what have you been playing?
Yeah, I've been mainly playing on this thing, the Neo Geo Super Pocket.
Very
Currently
nice.
on Mutation Nation. Plowed through Metal Slug X, Blazing Star, playing a lot of The Last Blade as well. That's a brilliant fighting game. Yeah, just working through that mainly.
Yeah. And how are you finding the Super Pocket? Is it?
I mean, the D-pad is definitely better than the Toatal one I've got.
Okay.
Only real complaint I've got with it is the size, but it's small and I've got quite big, chunky hands. So I do get a bit of hand cramp after a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
What about the
otherwise it's
selection of
solid.
games on there? Because like the selection I found, the selection of games on there is pretty much one of the best out of all of the Super Pockets, to be honest.
Yeah. In some ways, the Taito games maybe are more suited to a Super Pocket. So a lot of elimination platformers, small cutesy things. Whereas many of these, I'd rather have them on a cart. So hopefully they will happen. But yeah, great games. I mean, particularly like Metal Slug X. Last Resort will probably be my next one to tackle and try and finish.
Yeah.
A few games I've barely even touched yet. So I get kind of start a game, start playing that one, get hooked to it.
Yep. Excellent stuff. And Mr. Upton, what have you been playing?
I've been mainly playing Zero Tolerance on the Alpha. I love Zero Tolerance anyway, but I hadn't played it on the Alpha yet, so I thought I'd give it a go with the arcade stick and the wacky button. So yeah, it was really good. I really enjoy Zero Tolerance. I think somebody in the Hangout said, all you're doing is like walking around shooting aliens, and I'm thinking, what were you expecting from a mid-90s first-person shooter? I think that's what they all do.
I don't see the problem. Aliens, that sounds like a good time.
Yeah, and the music and the sound effects in the back give it a great atmosphere, and it just looks so. We don't talk about it enough, and maybe we'll talk about it a bit later, but the Alpha's screen is just so beautiful, and it fitted perfectly. That game is the exact ratio. You've not got any borders, you've not got anything in there, and it almost looks like it's flat, proper good on the Alpha.
Excellent. So, of course, with the other chaps, I've been playing quite a lot of Donut Dodo. I was playing some of it before we went up to Knott's VGE because I didn't want to look like a complete spanner when we would eventually play some of it. Still looked a bit like a spanner, but there we go. Then, of course, we've got to have a go on an Alpha for the first time, so I'll hold back my thoughts on that for just a couple more minutes. And then coming back yesterday, in the evening, I had to put this cart in because, well, we just spent a little bit of time with Andy Davison. So I've had worms on the go for a little bit. I got worms, and it was just from talking to Andy that day. It just made me think I do love worms, and I do get to play it quite a lot. And I just had to pop it in last night, have a couple of single player matches, which is not my favorite way to play, of course, but it's still great. It's still absolutely fantastic, and long live worms. I can't praise that game enough.
And did you, by any chance, do you have the Team 17 cart in your collection?
Do you know what?
He does.
I do.
So what I'd be intrigued to try is it because if you put both Worms and Team 17 in, you get the Worms Director's Cut.
Apparently so.
And I don't know what version it is, but Andy was saying that on the Worms Director's Cut, if you rename one of the Worms Jesus, it can walk on water. So we wanted to test that. So I do wonder if the Evercade version is a port of the Amiga version, and if that works. And if it's a Worms Director's Cut, I expect it possibly might be.
I believe it's the Amiga one.
Yeah.
Is that what you said it is, Gene?
I believe so. I think it's the only version there is, isn't there? But
yeah, I can't imagine it's on anything else. I think there was. It's not Director's Cut, but on the PC we had Worms Reinforcements.
Well, on the Worms cart, Worms is the Mega Drive, and Worms Armageddon is the PlayStation 1 version, and the Worms Blast is the Game Boy Advance. So in my records, I haven't got a record of which one. Toxo is usually pretty good if he's in the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
But if anyone in the chat knows what version it is, do let us know. Because apparently, and you try it yourself. If you get hold of the Director's Cut of Worms, apparently, if you change a character of a worm to Jesus, you can walk on the water. Was there something else he said was only in that version?
Maybe we come to that when we get to the Worms section.
Okay, I'll be quiet then.
Shh, Tim. Don't blow it in one go.
Ollie started talking about worms. It's his fault.
Yeah,
it's saying worms.
I've
got other stuff to talk about. It's fine.
You can't blame me. I drove to Nottingham and back. That's my get out of jail free card. Super duper. There's lots of people in the chat have been playing some great games as well. Right. Next topic. So before we get to Worms, we can finally, well, certainly myself and Tim anyway, can join the discussion on an alpha. I've said it a couple of times, and we'll probably say it more times because I'm still absolutely shattered. While we were away at the weekend, Blunner said, I'll bring my alpha. And that sounds like a bloody good idea because I've not played one before. And we had a lot to drink and we had quite a lot goes on the alpha. So, Tim, what were some of your first impressions of the alpha?
It's the Mega Man one, by the way.
Yes, the Mega Man one you've got. It's very nice. And this is going to sound weird, but no matter how many pictures of it I've seen, or videos, or people like showing it, I just couldn't quite comprehend what the size was. I was like, I need to see it. I can't just like see a picture of it and know how big it is. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, actually, that's a decent size. Like, it's big enough and it's not too big, because when it gets too big, it's like, well, where do I put the thing? And if it's too small, it's like, oh, it's going to be too like clunky. Like, I've got a really tiny one up there that's like really mini. And it's actually a really nice size, and the screen is really nice. Like, as soon as I saw the screen, I was playing games, and I was like, "Yeah, I could definitely see myself having one of these and really enjoying it." So it's a decent size screen and decent quality image on there. And played a bit of Donut Dodo on that for a little bit of practice. Not that it helped me because I didn't do as well as you guys on the day, but it's great. I still haven't got one yet, because I've just got a little bit of a feeling like they're going to announce another model on the run up to Christmas, and I'm going to keep everything crossed.
I think they'd be in the OGO.
Yeah, surely. That would be brilliant. So I'm just going to wait a little bit longer to see what comes out. But I'm definitely sold on the idea of one. I'm just holding out hope for just a slightly different model that's more my speed. I mean, other than that, like the Street Fighter one looks great, but I just want to hold out for a Neo Geo one or SNK or something. Would be a bit more what I'm hoping for. But yeah, really, really good. I was really pleased with it. And I think if I do get one, actually, I'm going to change that. When I get one, I'm going to really enjoy playing on it.
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. I mean, we've heard Blunners talk about his because it's, but Blunners, yeah, you still enjoying the alpha?
Yeah, like I said, I forgot that you two hadn't actually played on one, so that's when I was like, right, well, I'll bring it because it's like you said, it's not too clunky to be able to take alongside you. It was good to see you guys actually be like, oh wow, that is a lot better than what I thought it was like, and it's a good size, and I fully think that the reason they haven't announced the SNK one or the Metal Gear Slug or Metal Slug or whatever Neo Geo one. I just know they haven't announced that one because they're trying to shift more of the Taito one, because I think they had the issue with Super Pockets when they announced both of them at the same time, and then like you found out that like one was flying out and the other one wasn't. I think they're trying to, because they always come in twos. Everything comes in twos. The Super Pockets come in twos. Do you know what I mean? Like these first two alphas came in twos. It just seems a bit odd that they've just gone, yeah, here's the one. So
Yeah.
I'm just glad that you guys finally got to have a go on it.
I think it's the America thing as well, when waiting for the tariffs to calm down and all of that sort of thing. Because I think that'll be a massive market for an SNK.
Which alpha have you got, Matt?
I've got the Mega Man, but it's a deluxe one.
So you have all
managed to get
the bells and whistles.
controls, and the extra marquees and the extra little controller. But I love it. I absolutely love it. It sits on my desk usually. It doesn't usually sit there because it's not very easy to play there. But it usually sits on my desk there. And I was on it for over an hour at the weekend, just playing Zero Tolerance on it. And it's a thing because you can just press it. It feels like I've got a VSR and I've got an EXPR and I've got a Super Pockets. But I don't know. It feels like the one to turn on to have a go at playing. I don't know. I'm not so... I don't use the Super Pockets for that so much, and the VS is attached to one of the family TVs in the lounge, so hidden away behind a load of books and all of that sort of stuff. So I can nip away here into my little office and turn it on and have a go, and it just all the games seem to. Even I was playing Broken Sword on it, and that's even great. Not a problem. With the joystick.
And Gene Joke, have you got an alpha?
I haven't yet. I've been holding fire, and if I'd got one of the first ones, I would have gone for the Street Fighter one, more my jam, and I kind of wait and see if there is a Neo Geo one. So Taito one, I do like the games on it, but I kind of want a fighting game one.
Yeah.
One thing that has drawn me to it, when it was first announced and first saw the gameplay footage of people playing it, the thing that stood out to me was the sound.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like people playing on an arcade machine. The way the speaker sounded, and it kind of gave me that weird sense of nostalgia of being back in the old arcades. Probably a weird thing to focus on, but everything else is obvious, but that really stood out to me.
Yeah,
the sound is pretty good on it. Yeah, I'd say the sound is good.
I don't think that's a strange thing to fixate on at all. Certainly, sound and smell can trigger really, really deep-rooted nostalgia and emotions. So, and
perhaps we could order some of those John Riggs air fresheners.
But I do have to admit you're right. The sound, both Gene and Matt, the sound is fantastic. It's got a really nice speaker sound to it. It sounds like you're playing an arcade machine. It doesn't sound particularly tinny. It doesn't sound like a handheld. It does sound like an arcade. You're right. It's fantastic. I got to obviously play Blunners, and again, like Tim, no matter how much you see it, look at it, you can't comprehend what it actually is like until it's in front of you. And then for me, it was bigger than I thought it was going to be. The controls felt better than I thought they would feel. The actual finish on the machine is also a lot better than I thought it might be. And this is all not because I think Blaze would make a cheap product. It's all because of that price point. I think that price point on the Alpha is actually incredibly fair, especially when you've got it in front of you. And see the finishes that are on it, especially the marquee. When you turn that on and that light comes on, magic, literal magic to me. You're like, this is fantastic. And I haven't even played a game yet. And I think one of the first things I played was Donut Dodo, because I wanted to see, because that's a very arcadey type game, see how that played with the arcade stick, which was fantastic. But the thing I was really excited to try was Final Fight on Blunners one as well, because that really is an arcade classic, and playing that with the arcade stick was just phenomenal. And yeah, I think that was the point when I could feel the pound signs dripping out of my bank account. So yeah, I think when I eventually bite the bullet and get one, I will be looking to get the Street Fighter one, predominantly because of Street Fighter Alpha 3. That is one of my favorite Street Fighter games. So to have an arcade version of that on a little mini arcade cabinet, to me, is just no brainer. But then to be able to go back over the arcade carts, I know this is something Blunners is, we were chatting about at the weekend as well. It's having a little mini arcade machine, I think, will breathe new life into those arcade carts, because this is the way they're meant to be played, and it's quite I can't think of the word, poetic maybe, that for a long time people got into Evercade because they wanted arcade ports, and now we've got a little mini arcade machine that we can now plug those ports into and actually play them the way we always remember them. So I'm sold. I think it's a great product for a great price. And if you're even remotely on the fence about it, and you have the funds or the means to get hold of one, get one. They're great.
And I think this is what they should be in the shop. If they were in physical shops and people could, they've sold two there to you two, because you've hands on it. You've seen it. You've been able to play on it. You've seen the quality. The screen is so good. I don't know why, but the screen just feels so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the little light up, the little light up coin slot as well. It's just it
feels like the light up front plate as well. Just looks really
marquee.
nice.
Yeah, and I mean, people were saying when it came out, it's expensive, 200 quid, 230 quid, 250. But how many people on this panel have dropped nearly 400 quid on a Switch 2 just like that? Pre-order, poof, done. And you can see the money seems to have gone into the speakers, the screen, the build quality. It's a solid piece of that. I don't know if Blunners let you pick it up and
carry it there.
It's
put it in the
solid
boot.
It's a solid piece of kit. It's not some chipboard kind of. It doesn't feel like some kind of like.
That was the thing, is originally it was the price that put me off originally. And it was about Christmas time, and it came up on Argos. So I was like, brilliant. It was like paying 6 months. For 200 quid over 6 months. It's not, do you know what I mean? I was like, that's a no-brainer. I ain't got to worry about it. It's not like I had to find the money straight away and go, boof, there you go. Like, do you know what I mean? I could go to my wife and go, to some like people that do buy me presents and go, look, just give me a couple of quid and I'll just chuck it on this. It just pays for that then. But so that's basically what I did, and still got it now. So well happy about it.
Yeah, I know someone was talking to me about trying to part with their one, and I'm now just trying to figure out how I can make that work. I think one of the first things I said to my mate was, "Do you take Klarna? Because that would be the ultimate thing." Or if I could set up like a PayPal Pay in 4 with him or something. So, because the deal that they were looking to offer it for is a steal. So I always threaten to sell one of my children, don't I? When it comes to this sort of thing. So
or his kidney.
Yeah, I think I've only got one kidney left. I've probably only got half a stomach, half a heart. I've been, dissecting it out for various electronic products. So
you could sell your Switch OLED, and if you've got a Switch 2.
I do have a Switch 2, but I've got just the normal Switch. I don't have the OLED. I don't think they're quite as sought after.
It's 100 quid for it, and then £100 Alpha.
Damn it, Matthew! Stop it! You're filling my brain with ideas.
Evercade pusher. The first play is free. First play is free, but.
But I'm sold on the Alphas. I think Tim's also sold on them as a product. So and you're quite right, Matt. The way to get this sold, just get it in people's hands, let them have a go. But I guess with game shops closing left, right, and centre, it's probably going to be Mankind, isn't it?
Yeah, or HMV. Yeah. There's a few HMVs around, aren't there? But games all shut in until one gets in a maybe one will get into a CEX. I don't know. They are on their website, I think.
Yeah, I've never even seen one
Yeah.
of see it.
No. It does just feel like people need to play one. I think that's the key bit, is being able to turn it on, see it, and play it. Yeah, Smiths would be a good place. It kind of feels like, do you remember back in the day, and I think we've talked about this before on various streams, but one of my favorite pastimes as a gamer as a kid was being able to go into somewhere like Curry's or Comet, and they would have the display stand with the Super Nintendo or the Sega Saturn.
Boots.
Yeah. And you would queue up. Your parents would go off and do whatever. They'd almost drop you at that shop, and they could go off and do their shopping and come back in half an hour, knowing that it take you 20 minutes to get to the front of the queue to play the console. And that was the easiest way to sell stuff to children who didn't have the money, because they could stand there, play it, and then whinge at their parents for an entire year until Christmas came around and they hoped it was under that tree. So
the amount of times my brother and I, Dan, who's in the chat, we would go into, for some reason, in Boots in Reading, they had I think it was a Mega Drive kiosk or a Super Nintendo kiosk, and we would be forever in there just playing them for free. It's like playing an arcade but for free kind of thing. Well, for us it was.
Absolutely
stuff in Toys R Us, and this is just a memory that just come back to me. Do you remember in Toys R Us they didn't have cartridges or anything on the shelf? They had a picture of the game and a little bit of paper, like a little ticket, and you would take the ticket to the till to actually get the game. It's like a little stack of tickets.
And half the time you'd go to the counter, pay for it, someone come along, go and get the stock, you're waiting there for 20 minutes, they come out, oh, we haven't got any left.
Brutal.
No way.
So if you wouldn't mind going and joining the queue over at customer services, they will issue you your refund. You're like, oh man, shocker.
We were saying about the arcade bringing the Alpha, bringing the arcade carts back to life, but I think Derek said it before on here as well, that if you used to play the home computer games with a joystick, the home computer carts are great. If you used to play an Amiga or C64 with the joystick, the quick shot joystick or whatever, it's a great way to play it. I played Alien Breed on the Alpha. It was really good fun.
Nice.
Speaking of joysticks, anyone remember, was it the Bug? Little joystick?
Yes, it's the handheld one with had two little buttons at the front.
That's the one.
Left or right-handed.
Deep
dive into the geekery here.
I'll have to find that. What was it? The Bug.
The Bug.
What a funky looking thing. I just remember playing Alien Breed on it, so popped in my head.
Right. We are now going to talk worms, because because why not? Because we feel that worms sometimes gets maybe a little bit overlooked, especially with our friends over the pond. A lot of people over the pond don't seem to like worms, and I'm on a mission to change their minds. I don't know how I'm going to do it, if I'm totally honest, because it's subjective, but we're on a mission to change people's minds. We're on a mission to sort of revive worms a little bit, predominantly because we did get to chat to Andy Davidson at the weekend.
It is still highlight of the month.
Yeah, and it is highlight of the month. So for anyone,
there's no excuse to not play worms right now because it's highlight of the month.
There we go. Look at that. I said to the audience, it's like, right, I'm going to live out my Wembley fantasy here. I've always wanted to be in front of an audience where we can sort of take a picture with somebody. And there we are. We're all shouting worms because what else are you going to shout? What an absolute legend Mr. Davidson is. Incredibly humble and just some fascinating, fun stories to come out of that discussion. And I think it was in the talking about the humor that it sort of made me think maybe this is why it's not so popular, or wasn't so popular over in America. And it's because he was heavily inspired by Monty Python and comedians like that, where it's very British humor, where it's just warped and odd and peculiar, and it's the oddness and the peculiarity of it that makes it funny. And I think somebody asked him in the audience, it's like, why worms? And he was just like, why not? It was
Yeah.
it was never going to be another animal. It was always going to be a worm, because in his design phase was thinking there's animals in video games all the time, you know, so what animal hasn't had its fair shot? And he was just like, worms. And then it was just literally just saying that as a title is like,
Tim, did you get him to sign your copy?
I did. I've got a copy here that is signed. You can see that very well on the camera at the moment.
Oh, hang on. I'll put you on full. I
Signed.
can put you on full.
On full screen. I've got. He signed the poster that comes with it as well. So
that's me.
And I've got to move you around.
There we go. There's my signed poster, and then he's also signed the manual as well. So I've got a signed manual.
It was by far the busiest guest we hosted.
Okay.
Like we had the
That
guys.
can pay for your Alpha.
We had
Tim.
the guys from Broken Sword. We had the guys from Broken Sword. We had Stu Cambridge, didn't we? From Sensible Software, and we had the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But Andy Davison Worms was by far the biggest. Like we had the biggest audience for it was, and do you know what I mean, it just shows you how good it was.
Yeah, and it's
I loved it.
Yeah, and being able to speak to some industry legends like that. Obviously, we've mentioned Stu Cambridge and people like that. The thing with all of those games, and it's for me, it's the same with Worms as well. Is it's timeless. It's such a simple premise of just destroy the other players by any means necessary, and that's it. There's no particularly steep learning curve. There's fun to be had in your misery. There's fun to be had in shooting your mates off a cliff, and it's that simplicity that makes it timeless. So yeah, I mean Matt, what are your thoughts on Worms?
Yeah, I loved it back in the day, and I think the reason it's so popular is because it's just multi-platform, isn't it? I mostly played it on PC.
Yes.
But people are playing it on PlayStation, they're playing it on Mega Drive, they're playing it on Amiga, they're playing it on Commodore. They're just playing it on. It's not locked to one kind of system. And I used to play it. Yeah, I used to like having the Elvis sound voices. They would all do the things, and they'd go and all of that sort of stuff. And I used to, one of my special moves, you talk about triangle face doing the ninja rope. One of mine was the prod. I would at least try and kill at least one person with a prod. It was like, it would take no energy off, and it wouldn't prod them very far, but it just, you had to get them into a bomb or off a cliff or something, and it's just the ultimate kind of trolling people to just go along and just prod them off the edge of a cliff. And
I think to combine the two, if you ninja rope your way all the way across the map and traverse really difficult terrain, just to land next to them and go poke.
But again, it's multiplayer, like 4-player game, but you didn't need 4 controllers, or you didn't need a multi-tap or anything, because you just take it in turn. So we had a Mega Drive at home, and then we had PlayStation, but we didn't have the multi-tap. N64, I think that was one of the first consoles that had 4 ports across the front. But you could play a 4-player game all huddled around the PC or whatever. I think 486 back in the day and all that sort of thing. But and it was just great fun. It is one of those couch games, really. Like you were saying, Ollie, earlier, to play it single player is okay, but it doesn't have the fun, of playing it with your mates. And so yeah, I've lent it to my brother at the minute, my cart at the moment, but we have got it on, obviously, the highlight of the month.
Yes, absolutely.
So, but great, absolutely great game.
And Gene Joe, your experience with Worms, is it something you played as a kid as well?
Yeah, I played it since it first started. Now, my mum is not a gamer, but I can get her to play games like Worms and Mario Kart. That's about the limit. And I have memories of playing the whole family playing Worms on the Amiga and later on the PlayStation, and even playing Worms 3D with my parents and things. And it just doesn't happen. I mean, how many other games have that multiplayer reach? Other than Mario Kart, obviously.
Yeah.
And just the various iterations. It hasn't changed much, but it hasn't needed to.
Yeah, no, it really hasn't needed to change anything. If anything, with the various iterations that we've had with, Worms Director's Cut, Worms 2, Worms Armageddon, it's just expansions of something that already works. And certainly with Armageddon as well, there was, a bit of a design shuffle, switching it up a little bit, which is absolutely fine. People want to keep things fresh. They want to, breathe life into the IP again sometimes. And technically, I think probably Worms Armageddon is the peak of Worms, but I cannot get out of my head just the original Worms with the Worms reinforcements boot up with for PC, and that was pretty much one of my summers. I just would go to my mate Matt's house, who had a PC in his room, and we would boot up Worms at about 9 in the morning, and about 9 in the evening my dad would come pick me up, and we would just play Worms. I think pretty much for an entire summer. It was just, and I don't regret it. It was probably one of the best summers.
So, we will be getting him on at some point. We are looking to get Andy to jump on a show with us. But when you find out about how it actually all started, obviously I'm not going to ruin any of it because I want him to say it on our stream. But when you find out how and when and why, do you know what I mean, why he got it all going, and how he realized he had to step away, but he's also trying to bring some of it back to life, isn't he? There's a new weapon he's trying to bring in, but hopefully we can get him to all say this when we do get him on in a future show.
Yeah, he's doing some expansions for Worms Director's Cut to make sure some of the weapons that did come out, they weren't quite how he wanted them to be. So he's apparently spending some time refining the Amiga Director's Cut, and it's going to be released, I'm imagining, for Amiga in some kind of physical state.
I think one of the things that's most impressive... Sorry, go on.
Yeah, so that weapon is to rival the concrete donkey, which in its own has also got its own thing, because he used to have a concrete donkey in his parents' garden, and before you knew it, he was having thousands of people at his parents' house, like pledging stuff to the donkey. So he had to knock that on the head as quick as he could. Yeah, so he had to knock that on the head as quick as he could. So yeah, and he's from Bournemouth, so he's just up the road. So that's quite cool.
And I think the thing that's made it even more impressive is that he made it on his own. So like all the stories he's got so much to talk about. So hopefully we do get him on and he can tell us a lot more about it. But he was a solo dev and did all of it. He did the voices and the graphics and the gameplay, like that was just on his own. And then he obviously pitched the idea to Team 17. So the fact that he made it by himself is just all the more impressive.
Yeah. And I think one of the nice things to come out of it is, we've had guests on recently. We've spoken to people at conventions, and they all talk about the burnout, the crunch, where the studio is just effectively whipping you into finishing your game, and then you don't even get a really good slice of the pie if it sells well. Whereas Andy Davidson's experience at Team 17 was the exact opposite. It was just lots of support, lots of help, lots of time. They allowed him to explore the weirdness that he wanted to create, and then gave him a fair share of the profits as well. There was no, he just said, I've managed to live my life in the way that I've wanted to live it very comfortably. And Team 17 made loads of money as well. So everybody wins. You're like, what a nice story, because it's so often that people don't have that. And for him as well, he's an incredibly nice man who's just still blown away that people still talk about his little game that he made for him and his mates. So yeah, we'll definitely have to get Andy on as soon as we can, because he tells the story so well, and he does have his quirky humor that always comes through. So
yeah, definitely Monty Python. Definitely.
yes, it is very, very much Monty Python. When you hear him say it out loud, you're like, yeah, it really is. Excellent. So let us jump on to our next topic before we talk about some speculation. If people do want to get some questions in the chat, I know we don't have Derek here, so maybe technical specifics would be a little bit out of our realm of well, we can't do it. But if you have some random questions, things you want to talk about, or something you want to ask, feel free, chuck it in the chat. We're still gonna dedicate a little bit of time to some questions at the end. But let us jump on to the Evercade Hangout on Facebook posts about EXP battery issues. So somebody fill me in. What are some of these EXP battery issues?
So I won't go into too much detail because I know it's one of their things. I can't bring the actual page up, but I know Andy's in the chat. It's something that he brought up. And it's an issue that's happened to me as well. When I originally bought my first white EXP, the battery went on it like straight away, and it was a case of sticking it. I had to have it powered all the time. As soon as you took that power out, it's gone. It's something that I think Matt, it's like Matt has got this issue now, and Matt knows a bit more about it. So I don't know if I'll pass on to you, Matt. But
yeah, it's one of these things that the battery goes, and it's kind of a known issue with those white EXPs. And the trouble is, a lot of times, if something breaks and it's out of warranty, you could probably buy it. If you've got a bit of nous or you want to have a go, if it's out of warranty anyway, you could buy, often from AliExpress or all of these Chinese kind of websites, you can buy replacements, and you just say, I want a battery for a PS Vita or whatever, or a PSP, and it brings one up. The problem with the EXP is that it's a very ununiform or non-uniform size battery that isn't, they haven't just used a Vita battery, for example, and it's so tight in there. Apparently, I haven't taken mine apart yet because I thought there's no point because I can't replace a battery. But it's so tight in there. Even if you like 0.5 millimeter, it's too thick. You can't then get the case shut, or if you do, it presses against the screen, or it buggers up one of the buttons, or that sort of thing. So you can't even get an aftermarket battery that you could, if you had the skills, resolder, put in yourself. And what Andy was putting on the Facebook group is that there's going to be this new law, and actually I think there's a UK law of the right to repair. That companies should give you the option to either buy a replacement from them, or that they supply you with a reasonably priced kind of repair service, that if it is broken and out of warranty, that they still kind of have some responsibility to repair it. So yeah, I would encourage people to go into, if you're not part of the Evercade Hangout Facebook group, come onto the Facebook group, have a read of Andy's post. I think it has been pinned or whatever it's called in the group, and have a look at it. But I think potentially, it depends on how much we want to annoy Blaze, I think we could potentially kind of not demand, but ask them, can you either sell us replacement batteries, it's your responsibility, or can we send you a broken one, or you tell us where to send it to so it can get fixed and you can send it back. We're happy to pay for it because it's out of warranty. But yeah, so it's tricky there. I know people are putting links and things into the chat, but
that's what I just tried doing, but it didn't work.
Yeah, right, yeah. But Andy's put in there the dimensions. It's very specific dimension. But again, you go onto AliExpress and you look for batteries and you say, I want a 33 millimeter by 51 millimeter by 7 millimeter, and sometimes just the descriptions aren't good enough to tell you exactly what it is. And okay, it might be 10 quid or whatever, and you might have to wait a month to get it. But then if it is the wrong one, you then got to pay another 10 quid, wait another month, get the next, so it's just not easy to replace it, even taking aside the fact that you have to unscrew it all, get your soldering iron out and all of that sort of stuff. Now, not everybody is a electronics person. I would have a go probably just because it's kind of broken anyway. It does work when it's plugged in. And that's how I used to play my Game Gear back in 1991, plugged in all the time. But because who could afford 6 AA batteries for 3 hours worth of gameplay back in the day? But yeah, it's one of those things. Andy's commenting in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just one that we don't mind paying to get it repaired. We don't mind paying for replacement parts, but we can't do either at the minute. So it's a bit frustrating.
Yeah.
And the trouble is, you can't just replace. I mean, I'm thinking of replacing it with an EXPR, but then that doesn't have any of the Capcom games on it, does it? This has got 18 games, and 5 of them aren't even available in the Capcom Super Pocket. So it's got locked in exclusive games on it that, okay, I can get an EXPR and I can have, because it is much nicer to play it than it is on the OG, I think, or the Super Pocket.
Yeah. So other than Blunners, has any of Tim or Gene Joke, have either of you guys had any issue with the white EXP?
I haven't. I see Andy's putting a fair few comments about the EU law and what's coming in there. And to be perfectly honest, I assumed that when they announced the EXPR, it was in consideration of those upcoming laws and that it would factor in those things. So I was kind of surprised it didn't. So with that in mind, does it mean that there will be another iteration of the EXP coming that does include all these
with
things?
Some analog sticks.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Again, everybody would get their pitchforks out for that one as well, won't they? But no more hardware. But I don't mind if it's going to be an EXP2 with analog sticks, a nicer screen, removable battery. Sign me up for that.
But if that's coming up, but you said if this is coming into the law, it looks like they don't have a choice. That something's going to have to, either they're going to have to remake it that they can actually, or offer a service that we can just, like, do you know what I mean? Like you said, rather than having to now go and try and source a whole new EXP, or now have, you know what I mean, it's just going to cost a lot more than them saying, look, 40 quid or whatever, and send it to us and we'll replace it. So yeah, it's frustrating because it happened to me. Literally, I got one, took it round to Ryan's because he lives right by me. Because at the time he hadn't seen or played one either, and we were playing it, and it just went dead. And I was like, "What the hell?" Clicked it, put the power supply in, came back on, pulled it off, went straight dead, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" So luckily managed to send it back and get my money back. But yeah, it's frustrating. That's the key word, but it's a simple fix. Just offer a replacement service.
Yeah, definitely. Well, hopefully it will be something that will something that can be worked on, especially for those original EXPs. You know, I've been lucky. I've not had anything happen to mine. I do think mine was from the second run. Definitely wasn't from the original initials. I know I think Nick Skippins in the chat has asked whether or not it affects the black ones. I don't know. I can't say I've heard anybody talk about anyone having an issue with one of their black EXPs, but
I'm not sure I have either. Had anybody say about that? Because that, again, obviously is a limited edition as well. You know, well, the white one's limited now because you can't buy it anymore. But the black one, especially, was limited. Maybe between getting them all nicked, maybe all the nicked ones had the dodgy batteries, and when they
sold off,
remade and replaced, maybe they fixed it. But they do know about the issue. They just don't like talking about it because I think it has been better now for the XPR. Haven't heard of anybody having a bad EXP battery.
Yeah.
So I think it is just the white ones.
But so what I was thinking, just before we quickly move on, Ollie, is it because that you're not getting? Because a lot of them were saying, "Oh, what cable are you using?" and all this rubbish. Is it because you're not getting this dedicated Evercade power supply plug or anything? Because you've got people using fast chargers, do you know what I mean, superchargers that could be obviously ruining this battery's life. Because there's a new option now, like we said on the Switch 2, there's a new option that I've got ticked. You can charge only to 80%,
Yeah,
it'll
I've
only
seen that.
won't go
I've seen
over 80% to like keep the battery alive longer. So, do you know what I mean? Is this something where they don't actually physically supply you with what you should be charging and using plug wise? And like, because I only have superchargers around my house, so it does my battery up quick. If I had a dedicated one that, look, you have to use this because it could ruin it, I would only use that kind of thing. So yeah, it's kind of one of them. I don't really know what else you can do.
On that note, I mean, mine is always charged with a Samsung like supercharger plug charger thing, so it's not been a problem for me. So I don't know.
I've used a multitude of chargers for mine. Originally, I think I actually had to go out. Oh no, I had a charger for my work phone, which was USB-C, and that was okay. But I just use my Nintendo Switch charger now. It's on the desk here in front of me next to my OG Switch. So if I need to charge it up, I just take that out, plug that in. So it's certainly not a supercharger. And that, yeah, maybe you're right, Blunders. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's not really designed to be able to take that fast amount of battery charge really quickly, and it just needs to just take its time a little bit, like plugging in your electric car to your home out socket,
Or have that option like in a future download that only charges it to 80%. I don't know. So like you said, it's I know a lot of people have said it hasn't happened, and it seems like there is still quite a few that it has. And something like that you said, when you're paying like when it's that sort of money, it just seems like just have a replacement service and it could have just sorted it all out. But
yeah, for sure.
I just thought it was a good topic that came up. That was something we needed, like something that could be addressed. It was quite good to just bring it up, really. Like Andy, like I said, Andy's all on it. 5 volts, 3.1 amps for an EXP. There you go, bosh. And I'm getting like I don't know what voltage my one's getting supercharged.
Yeah, you are rocket. Yeah, you're sticking yours in the microwave, aren't you? To boot that up. Yeah, interesting. We'll watch this space and we'll see what comes from it, because it's only going to take for someone to find a battery that does fit, and then once they're out of warranty, well, someone somewhere, like with the screen for your one, Ollie, in your original handheld, it would just take for someone in the community to go, well, I know which one it is now, and it works. Chuck us your EXP in a tenner and I'll fix it for you. Eventually.
And just something really quick while we're on the Evercade hangout. I have spoken to Ryan, half the press, and he said this is about 3 weeks away. The real Evercade World Cup, sponsored by Flan, 2025 is coming soon. He says it's about 3 weeks away, but it is coming. And was it the winner from last time was we said it earlier, didn't we? Who was it? Just checking.
Codemasters, I think.
Codemasters, that was it. So Codemasters is the current world champion. And don't forget, Intellivision 2 normally gets a couple of bonus rounds as well, doesn't it, normally?
It does. And agree, Mason. His riser, just God rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
I've got to feel like Intellivision, Intellivision 2 is one of those things. It's a bit like someone that's on the X Factor that's really bad, but then there's people that vote for them anyway, just because they want to keep them in the competition. So Intellivision 2 might actually get through to some of the later round just because people want to see it survive.
Yeah, always. And I think that will happen all the time. Everybody loves an underdog. And there ain't no underdog like an Intellivision 2 underdog.
If any more come out, we've just got to buy them and send them to Ryan.
Yeah, get them as gifts for his birthday, and then
Intellivision 5.
He's obliged.
Put them on his tombstone.
Yeah, exactly. Like he'll never get rid of Intellivision 2 purely because it was given to him by a good friend for his birthday. So yeah, we just need to make sure we do the same for the inevitable Intellivision 3. Right.
Intellivision Alpha.
Oh, can you? Yeah, we'll do a whip round for that. That'll cost a bit more.
Could you imagine the Intellivision Alpha? Yeah, good grief.
With Ryan Andrews on the back.
Yeah,
they'll have to pay people to take it.
Side,
Flan. Yeah.
We could get a custom make. You can replace the front plates, can't you? We could get a custom made Flan front plate.
Flan Ryan on the other.
Ryan on the other.
Yeah. Amazing. Right. Last 3 carts of the year. What could they be? What could they be?
So we had a
I'll-
question as well. So we're answering your question, seems as well. I think for earlier.
Okay, so Matt, let's go in reverse order this time. Matt, what are your thoughts? What do you think the last 3 carts could be? I think also let's chuck in for shits and giggles. Genuine predictions, and then one curveball that you think could just maybe it could happen, but maybe it wouldn't.
The clues that we've had, and this is from the horse's mouth, wasn't it? Is that they're all collection ones.
Yeah.
So they're all then it's kind of nothing. Well, no repeats of franchises. So I'm thinking there's got to be a blue cart in there, and maybe my curveball could be the Amstrad blue cart.
Ooh, that's a good curve.
And I don't know the rest. I don't know. Maybe they've struck a deal with Konami or something like that, and that they'll bring that out just before Christmas. And you'll have Arnold Schwarzenegger fighting through all the toy stores to try and get one.
Get to the chopper.
But yeah. So a red cart. I think a red cart Konami, let's say, and a blue cart Amstrad, and another purple cart for I don't know, House of the Dead.
Oh, dude! I mean, that's not. I mean, never say never.
Yeah.
You know,
As Sean would say.
we've come to expect that. We've come to
House
use
of
that
the
as
Dead
the slogan.
all bundled in with a light gun. There you go.
Oh, take my money right away. That would just be amazing.
Yeah. Let's go to Gene Joke. What do you think these last 3 carts could be?
Could be all sorts. I'm still kind of stuck on something I said in an interview late last year or early this year, that they were interested in going for Star Wars. So it's a Star Wars cart, a Disney cart, and a Cytronic C64 collection.
Okay. Those
So
are
you've got your indie and you got your home computer all in one.
I mean, that's a good shout. How would they get Star Wars?
EA got it now.
Is it EA?
They're on Antstream as well, so it's doable. I mean, you
Super
can always
Empire
get like a
Strikes Back.
LucasSoft, like a point and click LucasArts adventure collection or something.
Yeah.
So it's just really whether they can afford the licensing fee from Disney.
Yeah.
God knows how much that would be though. So
yeah, it's not as if Disney need the money, but yeah, all's fair in love and property.
Well, I mean, apparently Disney Plus is bleeding money, so maybe they're hurting.
Yeah, could be. Okay, interesting. Blunners. And if either you or Tim say one of the carts that I've got in my head, I'm gonna flip the table.
So I think we'll be getting a cart from this guy's game.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think we'll be getting Croc
Right.
collection because it's a collection one. A couple of people have commented things that were in my head as well, and that is, where is it? Where are you, Nick? Here. I would love to see the new Terminator 2D game. Because obviously that is coming out end of October. And
Yep.
a Spectrum collection. I know the American lot would absolutely hate that, but that I think that is doable because obviously they are friends with the guys who just released the new Specky and that. So I know that they're friends with them kind of people, and that's the same person they use who sorts out what games and their licensing and stuff.
Yeah, because that happened with the C64, didn't they? They brought out the C64 Mini, and then what was it, 6 months, 8 months later, the C64 cart comes out for Evercade.
Yep.
But then Andy's just thrown one in, which is what we mentioned. There's a certain person turning 45, and it is Pac-Man.
Yeah.
could there be like Pack World and stuff like that? Because there's an anniversary collection. There's a whole new console with all the different color joysticks and stuff. So
and there's maybe something's happened with Namco, isn't it? Because they just unlocked the Namco carts so that they can be played on the VS.
Ching ching, yeah. So where the Namco carts have unlocked. So yeah. And he was when Sean was on here, he was saying it'd be like late August that we should find out. So it's not too far, not too long, because they've got to obviously promote them. So fingers crossed we find out soon.
Okay. Tim,
Wonderswan.
So
Grandstand collection.
The first one I think will be a blue home computer cart. I'm going to go with BBC Micro, and of course the headline cover game for that would be Tanks.
Tanks.
So we can all play Tanks on the Evercade VS. And I'd imagine you could fit a lot of BBC Micro games on one cart as well, because they're quite small games, I'd imagine. So, what was their name? Cybertron Mission, I think, was another game on the BBC Micro that I absolutely love. And I think people would really like that game.
Yellow BS.
Yellow BS. I do wonder whether we might see a Capcom cart. So I know we've got Capcom stuff, and they said it's the number ones, it's new carts, but we have had Capcom games, we haven't had a Capcom cart. So we might see some games that haven't come out yet, plus maybe some of the games that are available on some of the hardware that people might not have had a chance to play yet. And we've speculated before. I think Blunders normally pitches Resident Evil. Maybe Dino Crisis.
I did that to Sean as well, didn't I?
Yeah. So if we could get a Capcom cart, maybe we could see some Resident Evil or Dino Crisis, things like that. And then for the last one, quite like Gene Jake's Answer for Star Wars, going for like a movie themed cart. Maybe something like Jurassic Park, having a Jurassic Park cart with a few Jurassic Park games.
Nice.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, nobody said the cart that I was thinking, so I'm very happy. So my curveball. I wish. I wish. I'm in agreement with Tim and with Blunners. I think the curveball for me would be Resident Evil. That would be the curveball for me.
Nice.
That would be. It's a big license, isn't it? It's a big IP, but to have that original tank control with a cool car, that would tick some boxes. I also don't think, now that we've got the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 coming out, I don't think getting the first Capcom Fighting Collection would be out of the realms of possibility, because that's got some quirky fighters on it, and I don't think you could buy it in the UK. I think it was only in America. I don't remember seeing a PEGI version on the box for that particular Fighting Collection. So I'm going to go with one of the Capcom Fighting Collections. But the one that I want, and I think I want this as much as I do the Simpsons arcade, which is just never going to happen. I would like to see a Bullfrog collection where we get theme park, theme hospital, even if it's just a dual cart with theme park and theme hospital on it, with a built-in, well, not with a built-in, with a mouse that comes with it, because that's an update which we've been told is coming. It's going to happen. It's going to work. So having an Evercade mouse bundled in with theme park and theme hospital, that is the one that I would. Yeah, that's the one that I want, and that's the one I think is a possibility. I don't know why. I think it was Derek's eyebrow on a stream a few weeks ago when somebody said theme park, and he just went, You're like,
with the mouse support,
Yep. That would be ideal, because as much as I like theme park and love theme park on console, I've got it on my PS3 from the PS3 store, Super Nintendo. It doesn't feel right without a mouse. Yeah, theme hots with the functioning fax machine, or having to get the head deflator, because everyone comes into the hospital with the giant head. But theme park for me, that would That would be the ultimate.
Loved
The
theme
ultimate.
park, yeah.
But with a mouse, that's the thing. Theme park with a mouse. Take my money. Take my fnecking money.
So
Right.
before we move on, there is
Yes.
another cart which I think would be a distinct possibility.
Ooh.
The dev of the Duke remasters has done Biomenace Remastered. It's the demo is available on Steam now, and it comes out in October on Steam.
Oh,
So it's
Okay.
another DOS game remastered.
Yep.
Would fit quite nicely, wouldn't it?
It would. And
my words.
I think at the moment, the redo versions of Duke are still locked to Evercade. I don't think they've quite come to PC yet, or Steam, or anything. They're still with Evercade. They will eventually come to the other platforms, but yeah, that could be another little cheeky exclusive for them as well.
Oh, and speaking of which, I was playing earlier today. Another similar thing. There's if you played Project X off the Team 17 collection,
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of a remake, remaster, Project X Light Years.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not Evercade likely, but that was good fun for people that fans of the old Amiga shoot 'em ups.
Yeah, excellent. Oh, there's lots of good suggestions. Lots of people putting some good ones into the chat as well. We just have to keep our cool, hold our breath. Well, maybe not hold our breath because it's still a little while to the end of August. But yeah, end of August, it can't come soon enough, because if there's anything we've come to expect from Blaze, is expect the unexpected. Unless Amazon leak it early, and then you can expect whatever they've leaked. But hopefully Amazon won't do a little leaky sponge bag for them, and everything can kind of just run as they want it to do.
Someone likes to ruin it all for you, don't they?
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. Swines. So we do have a couple of questions. So yes, it's not Derek, it's us. But yes, roll VT.
Do you have a question? Well, now's your chance. It's time to ask Derek.
Or any one of us Herberts.
Or us.
Yeah, it's time to ask us. So we do have a couple of questions. If anyone does have a question, now is your time, or forever hold your peace. We did do predictions, so hopefully that's answered that one for Shems. Colm's come in with the question, is there another Indie Heroes coming? Reason being, on Steam is there is a game called Flan.
Hopefully that gets on there.
There's a game called Flan?
Apparently so. I think from when we've spoken to Sean in the past, they say they will do more indie stuff, but I think they
It's
were
on
coming
hold,
away
isn't
from it. Yeah, it's on hold. So using the term on hold does imply that it may come off of hold at some point. So I'd expect
I
so.
think we'll probably get a home computer heroes before we get the next indie heroes. I reckon that's my prediction. We get home computer heroes too, rather than.
No, I also got the impression that a lot of the devs who'd contributed to the various indie heroes, they've got more games, but some of them just weren't ready yet. So, of course, if they keep working with the same people, maybe they just need that bit more time before they can start putting their games out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they'll definitely be doing a new Indie Heroes cart. I just think that they've just taken a year off to. Just don't forget, they were getting quite a lot. Some people were giving them a lot of crap for it as well. And I just think, actually, when you look at the games, actually, they weren't as bad as everyone's trying to make out. And that's what I quite like about. I quite like to give these indie devs that. I was saying we spoke to a lot of random ones at the weekend. Give them a chance to get their games on something to test the waters and see how it works. Do you know what I mean? I think it. I really do hope they bring it back anyway. Fingers crossed.
There was one of the games at Knots VGE I played was called Book of Abominations, and it looks absolutely brilliant. I'd just love to see that on the Evercade. It just looks really nice. It's got a really good art style that I think would just suit the Evercade really well. I'm not sure how big it is though. It's one where I'd imagine it would need like a dedicated cart rather than being on a collection. But that's something I would like to see get a chance to be on there.
That, and I really like the game. I think it is actually even running on an Amiga. It's Grim Up North.
Yes.
Yeah, that was up there. Was there.
Absolutely fantastic game. I played that at Debug at the beginning of the year. That was there at Knots again this year, this weekend. Again, fantastic art style, very British, very humorous. So yeah, there's definitely room, I think, for more indie heroes, certainly in the future. Next one from Shems, we've got Evercade 2/Pro coming. I mean, I'm assuming
if there was one thing. I was going to say, if there was one thing, say you're at we're now all in the office at the head of Blaze, right? What are we going to bring in to try and bring in a new console? What things do we need? So, what would you think we'd need?
I've said it before, and I will say it again as he grabs his VS. And so, what I would like is much akin to the disk drive that you could get for the NES. Boop, underneath.
Tower of power.
Yeah, a tower of power. Get a little mini disk drive that would then go into your VS. Even if it has to have its own power supply, so be it. But that's what I would like. I would like to see.
What do you call it? Evercade Double D.
So we've got a VS, which we've all thinks just stands literally for versus, because you can do multiplayer on it. So you can't call it a DS, like a disk system, because that's already there. Give me a minute. I'll think of something half witty.
32X.
32D.
So that's what I would like. I would like to just see an add-on to current hardware rather than new
EverDrive.
Complete hard drive. EverDrive, yeah. EverDrive.
Yeah, well,
I think it would be good if we could emulate up to PS2. I think PS2 is retro now, definitely.
Yep.
You know, it came out in 2000. That's 25 years ago. I know that will probably make a lot of people cry into their ears, but you know, yeah, PS2. If we could do that, and you can get the Chinese. I've seen you can get the Chinese emulation devices.
Okay.
What about you? What about you, Gene? What do you reckon? What would you bring?
I reckon it's coming. Probably not for another 2 years. They'll probably try and get like the 7-year cycle out of it. But it doesn't need to do too much, you know. Add for handhelds, add the analog sticks, like up to PS2, something like that. But I do wonder if their comments in that survey, their comments about downloads.
Yeah, I thought that.
I mean, I think it's probably inevitable at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, Sean on the show, he was a bit. He didn't even like online high scores, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they did ask a lot of questions, which did worry a lot of people, I think.
But again, the feedback they got from that, if enough people reflect that view, that will influence what they do, I'd imagine. So, yeah.
For me, I'd have to get, because I've got old man eyes, I'd love to have an XL version.
Yeah.
I need an XL version, as people saw on the stream the other week when my contact lens goes behind my eye. It starts to shut like that. So yeah, I'd rather have XL, like they did with the Nintendo. So yeah,
was it on
you want a portable Alpha?
Not Steam Deck size, yeah. Portable Alpha size, yeah.
Was it on here where, I could imagine it, where Sean said they were on about doing like a magnifier, like the old Game Boy?
Yeah, we asked him, yeah.
Tim, what do you think? Evercade 2 Pro?
I don't know. I think I do like the idea, like I said, tacking something onto the existing Evercade, like a disk drive or something. But yeah, maybe a movement onto disk could be seen. If I could pick anything, I'm going to go back to what I said before. light gun. I'd love to have light gun compatibility and get some light gun carts.
Yeah.
Because I feel like one of the things that's always been appealing about the Evercade is they've always had a good price point. And there are light gun solutions out there that work on modern TVs, but they're not cheap. You have to drop quite a lot bit of money on them, and also that's reliant on you doing a little bit of the sort of technical stuff yourself, getting your own ROM files and getting it all set up properly. And it would just be nice to have a plug and play, machine that can play those games. Yeah.
Well, even something like I know we're talking about a disk drive, even something that would take like a mini disc, like bring back the mini disc. So it didn't have to be a big CD case. It could just be like a PSP sized disc with a little case, still the same size as the carts. Yeah, it could happen. It could happen.
Like a GameCube sized disc. Yeah,
definitely something like that. That'd be great.
I would just go full old school and just have a tape deck.
Yeah. You can get them cheap enough, couldn't you?
Could. And
or a barcode battler.
A barcode battler.
Barcode battler. Yes.
Yes. Right. Last question before we clock off for the evening. Should Blaze make a dev environment freely available to enhance the indie scene? That's a very cool idea. I like that idea. That is very, very cool. I think that's a great idea.
What do you call it? I'm having a brain fart. The software you use for exporting it to a system. I know there's a phrase for it, but it eludes me right now.
Porting?
No, like an XDK or something along those lines. But I mean, there's so many game making softwares out there. Game Maker, Unity, Godot, Construct, Scratch, or whatever it's called. If they get some compatibility with those, that could go a long way.
Yeah. I don't disagree with any of that. I think that's a great idea to open it up, almost have like a sandpit for people to go and have a play in, and that could be dead cool. Yeah, that could be dead cool.
Or even things like Adventure Game Studio. They could flood the Evercade with point-and-click adventures.
Super duper. Well, we have overrun ever so slightly, but it's been a great fun show. I know we're waiting for that elusive announcement now of these new carts that are going to be seeing us out to the end of the year. But yeah, maybe we can look back on this one and see how right were any of us, and we'll probably realize that none of us were right whatsoever. It's a complete curveball, and it's everything that we didn't know we needed, but we're still going to need. But thank you everyone for joining us along live in the chat. It's always wonderful to see so many of you being in there. So keep the discussions going in the comments section. Of course, do head over to the Hangout. Make sure you're signed up over there, so you can keep up with any of the news that's going on there, especially if you've had one of your EXPs recently kick the bucket. Then hopefully we'll be able to keep people informed as things progress over there. And also, before I do all the like, subscribe nonsense, just an absolute pleasure to have Gene Joke and Matt Upton back on again. I doubt this will be the last time. I'm sure we will have you both on again soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Make sure you head over to Gene Joke's channel.
Yeah. Pre-orders are live on Wednesday.
From Wednesday. Little exclusive there from Mr. Skippins. But yeah, make sure you head over to Gene Joke's YouTube channel, give him a subscribe, make sure you keep up to date with all of his content.
And the Gribbly challenge.
Oh, yes, as well.
Oh, yeah, the high score challenge and the Hangout. Yeah, Gribbly's Day Out, which is one of the hidden games.
Yeah.
On EXP, VS, and Alphas. So.
Nice.
Do you know how you get it, Matt?
It's a code Gribbly Grobbly or something like that. I think you have to type in. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't have that to hand.
Amazing. And yeah, all that else to say is again, is just thank you very much for joining along live. If you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button because that helps us out a huge amount. Also, if you have enjoyed the content, please give that video a little cheeky thumbs up because that lets us know that you've been here. It lets us know that you've enjoyed everything. And yeah, until next time, we will see you next week. And what are we next week? Are we uncensoring or are we
Censored next week?
Yeah, uncensored.
No Tim next week, was there?
No,
No,
so Tim
trouser
is
accident.
I'm off next week.
His trouser accident us.
I'm going to be having a trouser accident away from home.
He's preempting a trouser
Yeah,
accident.
preempting it. So I shall be on holiday having a trouser accident elsewhere. So,
Yeah.
Two things
So
are
there we-
mutually exclusive, so I can do both, right? I can be on holiday and have a trouser accident. So
Of course you can. Of course you can.
exactly.
So yeah, so fingers crossed that's not too bad for you. But yes, we will be back next week with Uncensored, where of course anything could happen, but as Tim rightly points out, quite high. So yeah, until then, we will see you all next week. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and see you next time.
Okay.